Petr Yan is taking on Devison Figuiredo this Saturday at UFC Fight Night in China, and this is one of the best fight nights we've gotten all year. With only 3 UFC events left in 2024, this matchup feels like a perfect way to close things out. A few years ago, this would have been considered a dream fight for two former champions squaring off, both known for their killer instincts. Back then, a lot of people thought that these guys were going to dominate their respectful divisions for years. That didn't happen, but here we are. Now we're getting the fight that feels like a gift for MMA fans. Anyways, when you break this down, Yan has always been a technical wizard. His striking is precise, and his ability to adjust mid-fight is second to none. He's one of those guys who could take the first round to read an opponent and figure out their tendencies before turning it up in the later rounds. One of his sneakiest weapons is his leg kicks. He doesn't throw them a lot, but when he does, it's usually a part of a bigger game plan. Against someone like Figgy, slowing down his movement with leg kicks could be huge. Figgy, on the other hand, is a completely different beast. The guy fights with pure power and aggression, swinging for the fences, and forces his opponents to deal with his chaos. At the same time, he's also a legit grappler, and his submission skills could be a problem for Yan. If this fight hits the mat, Figgy's wild style can leave him open to counters though, and that's where I think Yan could really shine with his speed and timing. I will add that moving up to bantamweight has been a great move for Figgy. No more draining weight cuts, no more looking like a zombie on the scale. At 135 pounds, he looks stronger and fresher. The downside, he might have lost a bit of speed that made him so dangerous at flyweight. Against someone as technical and well conditioned as Yan, that could be an issue if the fight goes to the distance. The first round will be the key. Yan tends to start slow, using it as a read round, while Figgy is known for coming out guns blazing. If Yan can survive the early pressure, he'll probably take over as the fight goes on. Figgy, on the other hand, needs to find balance. He can't blow his gas tank early, but also can't let Yan get comfortable. The fight is all about power versus precision. Figgy's knockout power is scary, but Yan's timing and volume can make the difference. And those leg kicks, they could be the secret weapon. Figgy's wide stance is great for generating power, but it also makes him vulnerable to having his legs chopped down. If Yan can force a stance change, that power might disappear. Then there's the grappling. Figgy might have the edge here, but Yan has been showing more of his wrestling lately. He's not going to out-grapple Figgy, but he might use takedowns to mix things up or escape pressure. Either way, it adds another layer to this matchup. This fight is going to be a war. Figgy is dangerous early, but Yan thrives in a long fight where he can break down his opponents. If Figgy doesn't manage his energy and can't put Yan away in the first couple rounds, it's going to get rough for him. And here's my take on the fight. I am picking Petr Yan as my favorite, primarily because I believe he is the superior boxer and overall striker. Yan has a wider arsenal of tools and a style that allows him to adapt and build momentum as the fight progresses. That's not to say that Figgy isn't a real threat. Far from it. We've seen what he can do in the flyweight division, rocking opponents in any fights with his explosive power. But in my opinion, Figgy has more of a puncher's chance in this matchup. Now, if we were in a 3-round fight, I would lean more towards Figgy because his aggressive style and his power can make a big impact in the shorter time frame. However, with all that being said, a 5-round fight, I think it favors Yan. His ability to stay composed, make adjustments, and wear his opponents down over time will give him the edge. That said, I'm not ruling out the possibility of Figgy catching Yan at some point. With Figueiredo's power, I wouldn't be surprised to see him rock Yan or create some dangerous moments in the fight. But ultimately, I think Yan's durability, his cardio, and his skill set will allow him to weather those moments and come out on top. Because I feel like people tend to overlook just how durable Petr Yan is. The guy has proven time after time again that he could take a serious shot and recover and come back swinging. Take his fight with Sean O'Malley, for example. Sean landed a massive shot that can spell the end for a lot of fighters, but Yan absorbed it, staying composed, and immediately turned the tide. Not only did he recover, but he came back with his own attack and rocked Sean in the return. That level of resilience is rare, especially when paired with Yan's high fight IQ and technical skills. He's not just tough, he's known how to use those moments to his advantage. He doesn't panic when he's hurt, instead he uses it as an opportunity to find an opening and counter. It's one thing to be durable, but it's another to turn adversity into momentum, which Yan does better than most in this game. This kind of durability is going to be a key factor in this fight. Like, Figuiredo has the power to hurt anyone, no doubt about it, but Jan has shown that he can take those big shots and still impose his will. That's why I believe he'll have the edge in this fight. Even if Figgy lands something big, Jan has the tools and toughness to not only survive but come back stronger. And I also do not think that Figgy will be able to grapple and submit Jan. Now, don't get me wrong, anything's possible in the sport, but I saw the most dangerous grappler in the sport, back taker in the sport, taking Jan's back for the entire round and couldn't submit him or TKO him. Jan is durable, man. I feel like a lot of people forget how good this little guy is. Jan is tough as nails, incredibly composed even in the worst position. People often underestimate just how good he is at staying calm under pressure, defending against submissions and working his way out of bad spots. He doesn't panic, he doesn't make reckless mistakes, he's calculated, and even when he's being controlled. I feel like a lot of people forget how good and well-rounded Jan really is. He's not just a striker, his grappling defense is elite, and not just that, his toughness is on another level. You're not going to break him mentally or physically. Even if you're a world-class grappler like Sterling, Figgy is dangerous on the ground, no doubt about it, but I just don't see him being able to dominate or submit Jan. The little guy is an absolute tank, and he's proven that time after time again. And that's the main reason why I'm picking Petr Yan in this fight, is because I truly believe he's that good. Yes, I'm saying that he's the better boxer than Brandon Moreno, and I think he'll present a similar set of problems for Figuiredo, but at an even higher level. When you look at the opponents both fighters have faced, Yan has clearly been through the gauntlet. He's fought tougher, more skilled, and more dangerous opponents with I call death row competition compared to Figgy, especially in recent years. Take Figueiredo's fight with Chito Vera for an example. Figgy was getting outstruck by Chito before he landed that shot that dropped him. Meanwhile, Jan has consistently faced the absolutely best bantamweights in the world. Sure, he's been on a losing streak, but let's put that into perspective. He had a razor close fight with Aljamain Sterling, arguably the best bantamweight on the planet. He had another close one with Sean O'Malley, a top tier striker in the division. The only fight where he was like disintegrated, like absolutely destroyed, was the fight against Merab Dvalishvili. And let's be real, Merab is a unique beast with a relentless pace and style that a very few fighters in the world can handle. Figgy doesn't bring anything remotely close to that level of pressure. That's why I'm going with Jan here. I think his striking, durability, and experience against an elite competition will be too much for Figuiredo. I see Jan either securing a late finish or winning by decision, ultimately breaking Figgy down over time with his technical skills and ability to adapt. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on the fights. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me or not, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always, guys, I'll see you guys on my next one.